This courtroom looked calm at first, but within minutes, 6 different parents walked in with what they thought were the perfect excuses. Bills, jobs, misunderstandings, every story sounded convincing. But Judge Vonda B wasn't buying any of it, and one by one, those excuses started falling apart right in front of everyone.
Mr. Johnson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Just bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 3 kids together.
2.
Well,
you have a kid, and we have 2.
I forgot she never claimed my other one, so we have 2 kids together. She's a realtor, I'm a school teacher.
Alright guys, this one starts like a normal child support hearing, but it quickly turns into something way more explosive. A school teacher walks into court asking the judge to increase support from the mother of his kids. On paper, it sounds simple. He says he's struggling, the kids need help, and she's making much more money. But the moment both parents start talking, you can already feel the tension boiling under the surface. And sometimes in family court, the real battle isn't just about money. It's about pride, resentment, and old relationship wounds that never healed.
Please don't get upset. Let's focus on the facts and the children.
All right, I'm bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 2 kids together, as I stated before I was interrupted. She makes quite a bit of money. I'm a school teacher, I only make $50,000. Kids on my insurance.
How much is your insurance?
My insurance is $500 a month.
All right. And it's you and the 3 children on there?
Correct.
Okay.
And I mean, I just need a little help. She helps everybody else, but she doesn't help the kids like she should.
Listen closely to what the father is arguing here. His case is built around a classic child support argument, difference in income. He says he makes about $50,000 as a teacher while she's living a luxury lifestyle. He even brings up designer bags and expensive purchases to suggest she could be spending more on the kids. And legally speaking, courts do consider income disparities when determining support. But here's the question, is this really about the children, or is this about frustration with how successful his ex has become?
The Louis V bag, she should put that money towards tutoring for our children or something. I see her looking at me, she know everything I'm saying is accurate, so it is what it is.
Okay.
Any assistance I can.
Okay, now you say you want to increase child support.
Yeah.
How much money are you getting right now from her?
$450, and I feel like
$450?
I don't know how she finessed the system like that to, yes, y'all may need to look into that too.
You so mad that you broke.
The
Ooh,
PP.
ma'am, don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't tell him to be a little teacher. That was on him.
Listen.
I'm a
I
hustler.
didn't tell you to
Like,
sell the little houses you selling either.
little houses?
Little houses.
But you taking me to child support court. Oh, okay.
'Cause I need your little, I'm not ashamed to say I need your little money.
Okay, go ahead.
Now this is where things start getting messy. Instead of calmly responding to the legal issue, the conversation slides straight into personal attacks. She mocks his job, calling him a little teacher, while he throws jabs about her lifestyle and spending. And the judge immediately sees the problem. Family court isn't about winning arguments with your ex, it's about making decisions for the kids. But when emotions take over like this, the courtroom stops sounding like a legal hearing and starts sounding like a relationship argument that never ended.
I've been told you couldn't handle me. You couldn't handle somebody like me. But you kept at it.
I don't want
you knew
to.
who I was.
I didn't get my
You
first
knew
gray hair
who
until I met
was.
you, though.
You knew who I was. You're a whole teacher
wanna
and you're
forget who
asking
you
for
was.
tutoring for our children?
Yes, that's what they need, don't they? So they can provide their kids with all of this love.
Did y'all want me to step out?
Look how fly she is. I had to go to Ross before I came here and buy this little old get up. Look at her.
Did y'all need me to leave while you all finish this?
No, you gotta leave.
I'm
I need
sorry.
some help.
I'm
I know if
sorry.
you leave, you might not come back. It's a long
You're
day.
absolutely right.
But
I'ma
he's
let you
been throwing
finish.
daggers since he got in here. I ain't say nothing to you. You so mad. It's okay.
I'm gonna hit the mannequin challenge on her right now and just be quiet.
All right.
Okay. Is there anything further before I move over to her?
Nope.
Notice how the judge steps in here. She shuts down the disrespect immediately, especially the comment about him being a little teacher. That's actually important. Judges often set the tone early because if they don't control the courtroom, these hearings can spiral out of control. And in family cases like this, respect matters. It doesn't matter whether someone makes $50,000 or $500,000, the law treats both parents as equally responsible for their children.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry, just don't do it.
Okay.
All right.
I won't do it.
Now, what is it you want me to know?
Your Honor, look, I am just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have different paths. He chose to be a teacher. I chose to be a real estate agent. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I just be getting slack from him because I'm in real estate, you know?
Do y'all
like
not get along?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
The truth.
First of all,
No, excuse me, wait a minute. She said that she was going to give each one of our turns to talk, right?
You
did interrupt him a couple of times, though.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
he was due to give you one.
Okay.
Your ex, the child used to flip houses, he let you keep them, and that's how your business started. So if you go keep it 100, keep it all the way 100.
Okay. But what did I do? I used what I had, right?
Not for
to
tutoring.
level up.
Not for
to level
tutoring.
up.
Not
to
for
level
tutoring.
up. To level
Not
up.
for tutoring.
Okay, so you're mad.
I am mad.
Now we finally hear the mother's side. She says the real issue isn't money, it's bitterness from the breakup. And that's something judges hear all the time in child support disputes. One parent believes the other is being unfair, while the other believes they're being punished for moving on. But here's the key legal point. The court isn't interested in who hurt who in the relationship. The only thing that matters is income, custody, and the financial needs of the children.
What should you be doing?
Mr. Johnson.
You should be helping our children, right?
Mr. Johnson.
You should be helping our children, right?
You said you were going to do the mannequin challenge, right? So no loud outbursts. Don't be so mad. You're here today for me to help you, right? Okay, so you can't get in your feelings and be distracted from what it is that you want.
Catch flights.
Okay.
Not feelings. Catch flights. Not feelings.
Okay, now
Catch these
Catch
hands.
flights.
continue.
Okay, so Your Honor, basically he's upset because him and I are no longer together.
This moment reveals another layer of the conflict. The father argues the kids are struggling academically and need tutoring. That's actually a legitimate concern in family court. Educational needs can influence financial decisions. But at the same time, the mother pushes back by pointing out something obvious: the children live primarily with him. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If the kids are falling behind in school, who's responsible for helping them day to day?
Falling apart houses is what's gonna make you money, right?
Ma'am, are you selling lemon homes?
No, ma'am,
Lemon.
I'm not. No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay.
I am a flipper.
Okay.
Flipper.
What is a flipper exactly?
So basically what you do is you purchase a home and you fix it up and you sell it.
Okay. That sounds like a nice little income.
Correct.
Right? How much are you making?
I'm making $150,000 a year.
All right.
First of all, the inspector, everybody for these houses are family members, so they say it looks good.
Oh
People move
my
in.
goodness, really? But what
My
are you
bad.
and the kids stay in? You stay in one of my flipped houses, right?
Now we learn something critical. The mother is a real estate flipper making around $150,000 a year. That number changes everything legally. In child support cases, income level is one of the biggest factors used to calculate obligations. But the judge also notices something strange here. The father is criticizing her business and the houses she flips, while simultaneously living in one of those houses himself. That contradiction is exactly the kind of detail judges pay attention to.
PPP loan.
Yes, tell
No,
about
I
the
did
food
not.
stuff she's selling on the side, though.
Word.
Tell them about that.
Word.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
just, do I need to bust out the text
Nah,
message?
I
'Cause you
know
just
I got
asked-
some,
you just
'cause the kids
asked.
gotta
Oh,
eat. The
okay.
kids gotta eat,
Okay.
so I did.
Okay.
Wait a minute, sir. That's the second time you tried to put shame on her for selling food stamps and, you know, what you call rundown homes or lemon homes. And here it is, you're asking her for
Pathetic.
the assistance and you're living in one of the houses that she flipped. So what does that say about you?
That he a broke
That
little teacher. That's what
Okay,
it
well,
says.
this, you know what? Well,
Here, the judge calls out the contradiction directly. If you're living in a house that your ex renovated and sold, it becomes harder to argue that her business is unethical or harmful. Courts look for consistency in arguments. When someone attacks the very thing they are benefiting from, it weakens their credibility. This moment shows the judge trying to cut through the drama and get everyone back to the real issue, the financial responsibility toward the children.
what we're going to do,
Come on, Judge.
this is not going anywhere. It's not going to get any better if you all keep going forward. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and order the child support. Now, what he said is true in terms of the child always being with him.
It's nothing.
But it's real.
The minute that I flip one house is nothing. That's chump change.
I'm getting ready to flip over this bench if you all don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the children live with you primarily?
Yes.
Okay,
And my-
$150,000 per year.
Correct.
All right, 2 kids. That brings your gross to $12,500. Now, I hope you weren't anticipating receiving
Now the judge shifts gears from emotional arguments to pure legal math. Child support calculations follow formulas, especially in states like Texas. The court looks at income, caps certain amounts, and applies percentages depending on the number of children. So no matter how dramatic the arguments were earlier, the final number usually comes down to a structured formula. And once the judge starts explaining those numbers, you know the decision is about to land.
Traveling and
I
all
want
that.
my children to live the life that I live.
We'll pay for them to go to tutor.
No, how about, Your Honor?
Okay, this is what this is.
Your Honor's talking.
Hold on.
So you
Excuse me. This is what we're going to do. Your gross is going to be, of that $150,000, it's going to be $12,500. She's actually capped. So in Texas, her.
She said it was capped. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what that means,
Like
but
caps in your mouth.
I'm going to go ahead. Silver.
He got the white ones. I paid for them silver
Okay.
caps to be removed. Now he got the white ones.
Okay.
Tell Your Honor that.
Well, moving right
that.
along,
Moving
her
right
net resources, they come out to $9,200 because she's capped.
Okay.
Based on her income, that brings her child support.
And there it is, the ruling. Based on her income, the judge calculates that the mother owes about $2,550 a month in child support, including reimbursement for the children's health insurance. That's a massive jump from the $450 he was receiving before. But notice something interesting. The judge didn't make this decision based on their arguing or their insults. She made it based purely on the law and the financial data presented.
Your monthly child support to $2,550.
Okay. Excuse me. Wait a minute. I don't get paid monthly. It's according to how my houses are flipped. So if I go a month without flipping a house, why did you do this?
No. Wait a minute. Excuse me. I went off what you said. You said, Your Honor, I make about $150,000. Did you say that?
I did say that. Your Honor.
Right. You did say that. So that's what I based it on.
Shut up.
Therefore, that's what your child support amount is going to be, $2,550. So I hope you can flip enough houses to make that flip some more for these children. Is there any?
But the drama isn't over yet. The mother immediately objects, saying her income isn't consistent because she only gets paid when houses sell. That's a common argument in court for people with commission-based jobs. However, the judge points out something important. You told the court you make around $150,000 a year. Once that statement is on record, the court can legally base calculations on it. And suddenly, that earlier brag about income becomes very expensive.
It does not. It has no impact on that whatsoever. Transporting your children to tutoring is called parenting.
All right.
Is there anything further?
Can I go?
Oh, sure. As soon as I dismiss you. Is there anything further?
I just want to say, God has blessed me in ways that I couldn't imagine.
So now you're going to bring God in there.
I just appreciate you for understanding my
such a
frustration and my pain.
Well, I didn't make a ruling based on your frustration and your pain. I made a ruling based on what the law said I can do with what's in the best interest of these children. And if there's nothing further, you both are dismissed.
Me and my little teacher, money
Yes,
about
you was
to...
a little teacher.
By the end of this hearing, the courtroom went from personal insults to a very real financial outcome. The father got the support increase he asked for, but the judge made it clear this decision wasn't about emotions, it was about the law and the children's needs. And maybe the biggest lesson here is this: when parents bring relationship drama into family court, the judge will cut through it quickly and focus on the facts. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom stories.
You filed this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's going on?
I am a full-time mom, and I also work as well full-time as a hairstylist. And I had one child with this man right here, and he is intentionally not trying to work to avoid paying me child support, and he's not helping with our child.
He's not helping doing anything?
Nothing, ma'am.
He's not giving...
Alright guys, this case starts like many child support disputes do: a frustrated mother, a father accused of avoiding responsibility, and a judge trying to figure out what's really going on. Miss Anderson says she's working full-time, raising their child, and getting absolutely nothing in return. No money, no consistent help, barely even communication. But the real question in this courtroom is simple. Is this father truly struggling, or is he intentionally dodging his financial responsibility? Because in family court, intentions matter just as much as the numbers.
You any money?
No, ma'am.
Is he paying for lunches?
No, ma'am.
Nothing.
I can barely get him to call and talk to his son.
Is there anything else you want me to know before I move to him?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Is there a reason you're not supporting your child?
Well, from what the attitude that she has today, I'm lost. First off, I do everything that I can for the kids.
Okay, when you say you do everything, she's saying you do not do anything.
Notice how quickly the judge cuts through the emotional back and forth and asks a very specific question. What are you doing financially? That's important. In child support cases, courts don't focus on promises or excuses. They focus on actual financial contribution. Picking the child up sometimes or spending time together doesn't replace the legal obligation to help provide food, housing, clothing, and health care. And right now, the father's answer is raising a serious red flag. He admits he's doing nothing financially.
So what is everything that you're doing?
Well, when she asked me to pick him up, I pick him up.
Okay,
try to keep a job.
Let me ask a better question. What are you doing financially to provide for this child?
Oh, well, I don't have a job.
That wasn't my question. What are you doing financially to help support this child?
Well, I guess nothing.
Your Honor.
You guess nothing. Yes, ma'am.
He did have a job at the post office, but once they took out child support, he quit.
Okay.
Literally right afterwards.
How long were you working at the post office, sir?
Now this moment changes the tone of the entire case. The mother reveals that the father actually had a stable job at the post office, but quit right after child support deductions began. In family law, that's called intentional underemployment. Judges see this tactic all the time. Someone leaves a decent job hoping their income will appear lower on paper. But courts aren't easily fooled. If a judge believes someone is deliberately avoiding work to escape child support, they can calculate payments based on what that person should be earning, not what they claim to make.
Probably about 2 months.
2 months? Okay. Is that about accurate? He was working about 2 months?
I believe so.
Okay. So you don't work are you currently seeking employment? Like what are you doing?
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to start my rap career, so I really want to. Right now, I'm selling CDs at my truck.
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna be honest with you.
Selling CDs.
And Your Honor, he does.
What?
He does make money under the table.
And then comes the explanation that probably stunned everyone in the courtroom. Instead of finding another steady job, the father says he's trying to launch a rap career selling CDs. Ambition isn't illegal, but the court's job isn't to fund someone's dream while a child goes unsupported. Family courts prioritize stability and the child's needs first. The judge is now trying to understand whether this is a temporary hustle or a convenient excuse to avoid a real income.
That's his goal.
Selling CDs?
Again, I know he's bringing in something, but I don't know how much. But again, I'm telling you, it's intentional. Like he's doing it on purpose so that he can avoid paying child support.
Sir, how much are you selling these CDs for?
On a good day, I'm getting at least $3.
$3
a pop, you know.
Per CD? Ma'am, how much does it cost for you to pay for? How much is it monthly for your groceries to pay for lunch for these kids?
Monthly, I'm looking about maybe $500. I packed lunch.
What? $500?
This is where the judge does something powerful. She breaks the math down in real time. $3 per CD, maybe 20 sold a day. That's around $60 on a good day. Then she compares it to the actual cost of raising a child. Groceries alone are $500 a month. When you divide that daily, it becomes painfully obvious that this income isn't even close to supporting a child. Sometimes courtroom moments like this aren't emotional, they are mathematical. And the math he tells a brutal story.
And you're making $3 per CD. How many CDs are you selling a day, sir?
Probably like 20.
You're selling 20 CDs in a day.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
could be
making...
like I get gas. You know, they give me a little food or whatever. That's about it.
So you're making like $60? Sir, you understand that's not enough to support this child, right? If you divide $500, right? That's how much your groceries are, correct? You divide that by 30 days, which are typically what's in a month. That's $16.67.
Listen closely to the father's response when the judge questions the numbers. Instead of addressing the financial gap, he shifts the conversation toward visitation and fast food trips with the child. But legally, buying a burger during a visit isn't considered meaningful financial support. Courts expect consistent contributions that help cover the everyday costs of raising a child. What the judge is hearing right now is a pattern she's probably seen many times before: minimal effort, vague explanations, and responsibility quietly falling entirely on the other parent.
a day. How do you expect your child to live off of that?
Hey, he come over, we go to McDonald's, I spend $6, I got 10 left.
Sir,
I have to drive to him and drop my child off and be like, you mother, and you need to take care of your child.
so you're not spending time, you're not financially supporting them, so you're just leaving everything up to mom, right?
Your Honor.
She always say it's my child.
Excuse me, sir. It is your child, just like it's her child.
No, I'm saying when she say every time we having an argument or a conversation.
Now the tension increases when the father brings up something unexpected. He says he has 7 other children. That revelation changes the legal calculation significantly. Courts do consider existing child support obligations when determining new payments. But there's also an uncomfortable reality here. Having multiple children doesn't remove the responsibility to support each one. Instead, it raises another question. If someone already struggles financially, why continue expanding financial obligations?
Well, it's my child, it's my niece. But when it's time to take care of the kid,
So you think that by her saying, this is my child, that means she is solely responsible for paying for the child too? Is that what you're telling me here today?
I ain't got no money.
That is your best case here today.
I'm just telling you, Judge, I tried with this lady. I have 7 other children, and she...
7 other children.
I don't
How
know.
are you affording to have 7 children? Are you financially supporting them as well?
Nah, they mamas, they fool with me. So
What does that mean? They
I mean,
fool with
like we still cool. We cordial. That's what it is, cordial.
So, with you guys being cordial...
This is the moment where the judge's patience begins to wear thin. The father suggests that because he and the mothers of his other children are cool, that somehow replaces financial support. But family court doesn't operate on informal agreements or personal friendships. The legal system is designed to protect the child's interests, not the parent's convenience. And from the judge's perspective, what she's hearing sounds less like cooperation and more like a long history of avoiding financial accountability.
You think that excuses you from being able to financially take care of these kids?
They ain't tripping. She the only one tripping. Why I gotta pay her anything?
You came here to waste my time, obviously. We are not about to play these games. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You are going to pay this woman child support to support your child. The court has the obligation to make sure that we give you credit for any other children that you may have, but you are going to start giving her something to financially support these children. Now, what I can do, because based on the paperwork you gave me, you did not work at the post office long.
Here the judge takes control of the courtroom. She makes it clear she believes the father came in unprepared and without a serious plan to support his child. Judges often have very limited patience for cases where someone appears to be wasting court time. Family court isn't just about settling disputes, it's about ensuring children receive consistent financial support. And at this point, the judge is moving from questioning to making a ruling.
For me to be able to just see what you're making on a consistent basis. So I will set your child support at minimum wage. Okay?
Okay, what's minimum wage?
You know the minimum wage in Texas, right?
Nah, I just moved here.
Okay, well, based on minimum wage, the rate is $7.25.
What am I supposed to do with that?
$7.25. It's better than $3. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but by the time the
$3
taxes
per
in,
CD. No, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
as I was saying, that brings your gross to about $1,256.
This ruling demonstrates an important legal concept called imputed income. Because the father quit his job and doesn't have reliable earnings, the judge decides to calculate child support based on minimum wage instead. Courts use this method when they believe someone is capable of working but chooses not to. Essentially, the law says, if you can work, we'll calculate support based on what you reasonably should be earning, not what you claim to make selling CDS.
Your net, I have it at about $1,121.54. Your child support obligation a month is $203. Okay.
Month?
I take that back. You said you have children, correct?
Can you split that up in like 6? I gotta pay that monthly?
You will pay that monthly, and it will come out based on how you were paid. Were you paid twice a week or bi-weekly? How were you paid at your previous?
You saying the CDs or the post office?
The post office.
Oh yeah, the post.
Please do not mention that again.
weeks.
Talking about some CDs for $3, and I just broke down. It costs $6 a day to feature.
Yes,
I do
ma'am.
not want to hear anything else about $3.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you're not actively looking for a job, so you need to actively look for a job as well. giving you credit for the other children that you have, your child support obligation comes out to $145 per month.
Even after the ruling, the father keeps referencing his CD sales, and you can hear the judge immediately shut that down. From her perspective, the discussion about $3 CDS is irrelevant compared to the financial needs of a child. The final calculation comes out to $145 per month after accounting for his other children. It's not a huge number, but it sends a clear message. Regardless of dreams, arguments, or excuses, every parent has a legal obligation to contribute something.
To be paid each month. Understood? There is not a reason, sir, that I'm going to allow you to walk out of this courtroom and not give this woman anything who is spending $500 a month in groceries to take care of your child. Is there anything else I need to know here today?
Yes, ma'am. I also just found out that our child does not have insurance.
Okay.
Because of him. So I don't know what I need to do now. Do I need to go ahead and get insurance for our child, and do I need to pay for that as well?
Yes, that's something you can go ahead and do on your own. And you, sir, when she gets that health insurance, she's going to give you the cards, but you're also going to be responsible for reimbursing her for the amount of coverage for the child only. You understand?
So you're saying that
I'm saying what I just said. Did you understand what I just said?
Well, man, I'm trying to ask.
Did you understand what I just said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything further that I need to know in regards to the monies with taking care of this child? You want to tell me that you're making more than $3 so I can do some
all I was trying to say
recalculation?
was that, you know, she's saying that I don't have to have, she don't have to have insurance, or she don't. So how does she obtain the insurance? Like
She will do that. I just ordered her to make sure that she enrolls the child in health insurance. I'm more concerned with making sure that you reimburse her. Understood?
The end of this hearing. The court establishes two critical responsibilities. The father must pay monthly child support, and he must also reimburse the mother for the child's health insurance coverage. It's a reminder of what family court ultimately protects, not pride, not excuses, but the well-being of the child. Sometimes the most powerful moments in court aren't dramatic outbursts, they are simple financial realities.
You all may be seated. Mr. Bridges, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
I found out that she has a little bit more money, and I wanted a little bit more for the child.
Okay. How old is the child?
12.
How did you find out she...
The child told me.
What? You asked the child or the child told you?
Oh, the child told me. Came back from visiting with her and is like, Mama has more money.
What? Where did he say this money came from?
Alright guys, this case starts off sounding simple. A father walks into court saying he believes the mother has more money than she's letting on. But the twist. He didn't discover it through bank records or legal documents. He heard it from their own child. And in family court, when money, trust, and parenting collide, things can get messy very quickly. The real question now becomes, was this just a misunderstanding, or is there a financial truth about to explode in this courtroom?
He didn't tell me. He kind of only heard little bits. I think it's from the life insurance policy that she has, and the only way I think of that is if she got a loan. Oh.
Ma'am.
He's lying.
Ma'am, when I get to you, you'll have your opportunity to speak, okay? Oh, the child said life insurance?
Yeah, they said something about like life, so I'm guessing it's a life insurance policy, and the only way to really do something with that.
When did he tell you this?
Wait. Hold on one second, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me let you know how this goes, okay?
Now pay attention to what just happened. The father says the child mentioned more money, and suddenly the courtroom tension rises. Judges often treat statements from children very carefully because kids can reveal things adults try to hide. But they can also misunderstand situations. So right now, the judge isn't accusing anyone yet. She's simply digging for facts. And sometimes, one simple question from the bench is all it takes to turn a casual claim into a serious financial issue.
I do all the question asking. You address me. Do not address each other. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Now, is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
I mean, the child did tell me what he believes she was using it for.
What did he say she was using it for? Because I think that matters.
No.
Purses? Yes.
Purses? What kind of purse? Like the one she has on the table there?
I don't know.
This is where things get interesting. The father believes the extra money might be coming from a life insurance policy, and the mother immediately calls him a liar. That kind of reaction is actually very common in family court. Emotions run high and accusations fly. But notice how the judge quickly stops the back and forth. In court, it's not about who argues louder, it's about who can answer the judge's questions clearly and truthfully.
Purses, so I can't say. I just know that he said Mama's got new purses.
Oh, okay. So mama, tell me about these.
What? I'm an interior designer, so I have to make sure that I match with everything I wear.
Okay, and you have to make sure that you have the money to buy that, right?
Well, you know, I go bargain shopping.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of good purses out there, but I go shopping for my son too, so, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's saying.
So you're saying that your son didn't tell him?
The conversation suddenly shifts to something unexpected: purses. The child apparently told his father that his mom was buying new purses. At first glance, that might sound trivial, but in child support cases, lifestyle spending can become extremely important. If someone claims they don't have money for their child but appears to be spending freely on luxury items, the court starts asking deeper questions. And right now, that's exactly where this hearing is headed.
That you took money out of a life insurance policy?
No.
Well,
no,
let me ask you
I don't
this.
think so.
Did you take money out of a life insurance policy? It's
maybe?
a yes or no. It's not an
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so he was not lying then. You called him a liar. He's not lying about that. You took money out. How much did you take?
$30,000.
$30,000 out of a life insurance policy to buy purses? What kind of purses are you buying?
Now the judge asks the key question: did you actually take money from a life insurance policy? And after denying it for a moment, the mother finally admits she did. That single admission changes everything. Because once money is acknowledged, the court has the authority to include it when calculating financial responsibility. What started as a casual conversation about purses just turned into a very serious financial disclosure.
A lot of purses.
Like what? What kind of bag is that?
It's a Michael Kors.
Okay, you know what? You obviously came here to waste my time. You did. As an interior designer, how much money are you making?
I'm not making.
That was not my question. As an interior designer, how much money are you making?
$60,000.
$60,000. So you took out a loan.
$30,000. That's the number that just landed in this courtroom. The judge immediately points out something important. That amount is half of the mother's yearly income as an interior designer. In family law, courts often look at total available resources, not just salary. So if a parent suddenly has access to tens of thousands of dollars, the judge has to ask an uncomfortable question: why isn't that money helping support the child?
Against a life insurance policy for $30,000, that's half of what you make as an interior designer. And you did it to buy bags, you didn't do it to spend on this child. Who does the child live with?
Him.
Child lives with him. And has she given you any money additionally for the child?
No.
Ma'am,
I've given him
what do you have
some.
to say about that?
He's lying. Puro mentiras. You're just lying.
I don't even know what you just said, so I'm not going to even entertain it.
He's the emotional center of this case. The child actually lives with the father. That means is the one covering the daily expenses: food, housing, clothing, school needs. When the judge learns that the mother hasn't been providing additional financial support despite accessing a large sum of money, the courtroom tone shifts dramatically. Suddenly, this isn't about purses anymore. It's about responsibility.
Let's talk about the monies, okay? So, at $60,000, I'm going to calculate your gross for that. And I'm also going to calculate that gross for that $30,000 that you have. Where is that money housed right now?
It's in my account somewhere.
So, don't play with me. In your account somewhere. In like a bank account sitting? You're not doing anything with it?
It's somewhere safe where he don't need to be touching it.
You know what? Well, he's definitely getting ready to touch it because...
The judge now moves into calculation mode. This is where family court becomes very technical. Judges don't simply guess child support amounts. They run precise financial formulas based on income and available funds. By adding the mother's salary and the additional $30,000 resource, the judge is essentially saying, if you have access to money, your child should benefit from it too.
I'm getting ready to do these numbers. The $60,000 a year, I have your gross at $4,800. Your net for that is $3,935.18. Then on that $30,000 that you have in a safe place.
And notice how the judge presses further. Where exactly is that money right now? The response, somewhere safe in my account, doesn't sit well with the court. Judges often react strongly to vague financial answers because transparency is critical in child support cases. If money exists, the court expects clear records and accountability.
The gross is $2,500. I have your net, let me make sure this is right, $2,144.63. Total net of $6,079.81. Who carries health insurance for the child? Okay, how much is health insurance?
About 120.
120, okay. Is that for you and the child or for the child only?
Child only.
Okay, child only.
How the numbers come together. The judge calculates the mother's income, adds the additional funds, and determines a financial capacity. This moment might seem technical, but it's actually the turning point of the case. Because once the financial picture becomes clear, the court can establish a support amount that reflects what the child should realistically receive.
And I see here you did not ask for medical reimbursement. I'm just going to have you continue that coverage, okay? You continue the coverage for that. And then at a later date, we may entertain reimbursement for her, but you didn't ask for it, okay?
Understood.
So, net $6,079.81. That bring your child support amount to $1,215.97.
I mean, ugh.
You have anything else to say? You want to tell me about some more money you have in a safe place so I can make that child support amount go up?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you don't have anything further then, I'm guessing, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have anything further, Mr. Bridges?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you all are dismissed.
What started as a child mentioning purses turned into a full financial breakdown in court. A life insurance withdrawal, hidden funds, and a judge determined to make sure the child receives proper support. It's a reminder that in family court, even small details can lead to major consequences. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom moments just like this.
Yes.
You brought this case before the court?
I did.
What's going on?
Well, she left when our son was 11 months old. He's 10
11
now.
months?
11 months, yes. And she chose to pursue her career.
Wait a minute, I got hung. You said 11 months
11
and he's
months.
10 years
And
old
he's
now?
10 years old now. She chose her career over being a parent, although she wanted to be a parent, and left me with the child. It's been hard. I do what I can do. Take care of our son. She's still chasing her dreams.
Alright guys, this case opens with a father who says he's been raising his son alone for nearly 10 years after the child's mother chose to pursue her career. Now that might sound simple at first, but listen closely, because what's really unfolding here is a deep conflict between responsibility and personal ambition. One parent says they've been doing everything alone, while the other insists she's been throwing money his way. But the real question the court is about to answer is this: when one parent disappears from daily life, does financial responsibility disappear too?
You know, I just want to know what happened, you know, some kind of financial compensation if she's chasing her dreams and making all the money she wants to make. You know, maybe she can get some money our way and that'll be fine, you know.
That would be fine, and I agree with that, ma'am. Is there a reason that you have not paid this man child support? He's been having your son for 10 years.
He said throw some money their way. What that mean? Throw some money their way?
Would you clarify for her
Well,
what you mean by
she
that,
doesn't want
sir?
to be in his life.
Right away, the judge zeroes in on the key issue: child support. For 10 years, according to the father, he's been the one providing food, care, and stability for their son. Legally speaking, child support isn't about punishing a parent, it's about making sure the child's needs are met by both parents. And when the judge asks why no consistent support has been paid, you can already feel the tension rising. Because in family court, financial responsibility doesn't just disappear because someone chooses a different life path.
And be around and be a mother, and I have to be the father and the mother, then maybe I should be compensated for being the father and the mother.
You mean by her paying child support?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all he looks for is money.
Well, he would like
Okay,
to play baseball.
it takes more than air to raise a child, man. You have to pay something. What else do you want him to receive to be able to raise this child? I'm listening.
And our child has...
He needs to get a job and stop trying to depend on me.
No, what you need to do is listen to what I'm saying and answer my question and not worry about what he has going on. Everything is about you right now. Oh, yeah, it is. We'll get to the money part in just a minute in terms of calculations, because this child...
Now things get heated. The mother pushes back, suggesting the father should simply get a job. But the judge immediately shuts that argument down. Here's an important legal point: the parent who has primary custody is already contributing through caregiving. Raising a child full-time is itself a major responsibility. The court isn't interested in blame or personal opinions. It's interested in whether both parents are contributing fairly to the child's life.
I has been with him for a long time, and to go without any sort of financial assistance, and based on what you've turned in, you've made money, and you have not given anything to him for your child, it's absurd.
I've been throwing money his way, and I don't know what he been doing with it. Because I make over $85,000 a year.
Excuse me?
Over $85,000 a year.
You make over $85,000
Over
a year?
$85,000
She hasn't given you any money, sir?
Not too much. And really, the thing is...
This dude is lying.
Excuse me, I can't listen to both of y'all at the same time. I have 2 ears, but I only can listen to one person at a time.
Well, the thing is, well, she's all free pursuing her career. I have to watch the child.
This moment reveals something deeper than just a financial dispute. The father explains has been juggling everything, raising the child, managing expenses, and trying to build a future. And when he says he doesn't want government assistance, that tells the judge something important, is trying to handle responsibility on his own. But family courts exist for situations exactly like this, when one parent has been carrying the load alone for years.
Wait a minute, what kind of, ma'am,
Well,
please.
it's hard to find a job and take care of a kid.
What kind of career does she have?
She's an esthetician.
Okay.
Eyelashes, taking care of people's eyelashes.
Okay.
She makes pretty good money at it, actually. She's good at her job.
Okay.
I would give her that.
Ma'am.
Diapers and...
Excuse me, sir. All this extra and this attitude, I'm the only person that can have an attitude in here, okay? Yes, it's right. So I'm gonna need you to
And the judge asks a crucial question. What kind of career does the mother actually have? When it's revealed she's an esthetician making good money, the legal picture becomes clearer. Because once the court confirms a parent has stable income, calculating support becomes much more straightforward. And suddenly the argument shifts from, I can't help, to, why haven't you been helping?
tone it down a little bit, okay? Thanks. Go ahead, sir.
And our 10-year-old is a growing boy, and he has a lot of things he'd like to do, and it's very hard for me. I don't want to get any government assistance. I would like to do it as best as I can on my own. However, I can't go back to school and take care of our son and have a job and run a business. Is very hard, and
I imagine so.
It is.
I imagine so. What type of expenses does your son have?
He has normal childhood expenses, food.
Is he involved in extracurricular activities?
Yes, he likes to read. He likes games.
Listen carefully here. The father begins describing the child's everyday needs: food, hobbies, activities, education. These might sound like ordinary things, but legally they're extremely important. Child support calculations are based on the actual cost of raising a child. From school supplies to extracurricular activities, every expense adds up. And the judge is building a clear record showing that this child's life has been supported almost entirely by one parent.
I like to keep him with electronics and things to, spark his interest.
What type of extracurricular activities?
He likes go-karts, motorcycles. He likes race cars, train sets, video games. He's going out to the park, going to the lake, and all that.
Ma'am, do you hear all of that? All of that costs money.
It sure does, and like he said, I've been throwing money their way.
Every now and then, it hasn't been consistent.
It's not very consistent.
It clearly cannot be consistent. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a reason to be here.
Does he have a job? Can you ask him that question?
Ma'am, you know what? He's taking care of the child.
Doing what though?
The child lives with him, correct?
Correct.
Right. So whether he works or not, it doesn't matter to me.
Now the judge addresses the mother's claim that she's been sending money occasionally. But here's the legal reality. Sporadic payments don't count as consistent child support. Courts require predictable, documented financial support so the child's life remains stable. If the payments are random, small, or undocumented, the court treats it the same as not paying at all.
What matters to me is that he is raising you all's child, and you're not doing anything consistently. So we're gonna make that change.
According to him, though, right?
I want to see you do the same after I finish with these calculations. Okay. So, who carries health insurance?
Obviously not him.
Do you carry it? Do you carry health insurance for the child?
Ask him.
Do you carry health insurance for
all the information?
Ma'am.
Well, see, that's the problem. I have a hard time communicating with her.
I'm having a hard time communicating with her, so I can't even imagine what you have to deal with in talking to her.
Then comes another shocking detail. The child doesn't even have health insurance. For a judge, that's a major red flag. Medical coverage is one of the most basic responsibilities a parent can provide. So now the issue isn't just money. It's about whether the child's fundamental needs are being protected.
So he doesn't have any health insurance coverage right now?
He has no health insurance.
Lord, please.
So we're going to fix that right now. So on testimony in your tax returns and your 1099s, it does equate to about $85,000 a year. So what we're going to do is order you to pay child support. Based on your gross, it comes out to $7,083.33. And right now the child isn't covered on any sort of health insurance coverage, so you're also going to be responsible.
Now the numbers come into play. Based on tax records and income documents, the judge confirms the mother earns around $85,000 a year. Once that income is established, the court uses statutory guidelines to calculate child support. These formulas exist specifically to remove emotion from the equation. It's not about who argues better. It's about what the law requires.
For obtaining health insurance for the child, okay? And I'm going to order you do that within 30 days. That's what you're going to have to do. I have your net resources at $5,138. So your child support obligation monthly, and giving you credit, how many other children did you say?
I have 4.
4, okay. So credit for your other children, your child support obligation comes out to $698.78. And
the judge then delivers the first major ruling, nearly $700 per month in child support, plus the responsibility to provide health insurance within 30 days. But the case doesn't stop there, because when a parent hasn't paid for years, the court can also order retroactive child support, essentially compensation for the time when support should have been paid but wasn't.
I'm also going to order you pay back support to this man. He requested in his paperwork that you pay back support to him. It's known as retroactive child support. In Texas, it's the last 4 years. So in calculating what your monthly child support obligation should be for the past 4 years, child support back pay is $33,541.44, and I'm going to have you repay that monthly at $1,000. So your total monthly obligation is $1,698.78.
And here's the moment that likely stunned the courtroom. The judge calculates 4 years of back support over $33,000 owed to the father. In Texas, the law allows courts to recover unpaid support going back several years. The final monthly obligation jumps to nearly $1,700 per month. Suddenly, what started as a dispute over throwing money his way becomes a legally enforced financial responsibility.
For child support obligation. Any questions about that?
As long as he get a job.
You know what, ma'am? He can't be living off of you if you haven't given him anything consistently.
That's according to him.
Okay, well, you haven't provided me with anything. Okay, so, exactly. Is there anything further, sir?
No, not too much. As long as she doesn't want to be around and she's willing to financially help support him, then maybe I can go off and further my education and be a better father and mother.
Sounds good to me. So, if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
By the end of this case, the court made one thing clear: raising a child is not a one-person responsibility. For 10 years, this father carried the burden largely on his own, but the law stepped in to balance that responsibility. With monthly support, health insurance requirements, and over $33,000 in back payments ordered, the court ensured that both parents contribute to their child's future. But what do you think? Did the judge get this ruling right? If this case surprised you, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom stories like this.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Judge, I have a really great daughter. However, we have a kind of a bad situation. My daughter seems to be so busy sometimes that I think she knows she's a mom, but she kind of has other responsibilities that she's kind of putting in the forefront of everything.
Alright guys, this case starts with something that might sound familiar in many families: a grandmother stepping in to raise a child while the young mother tries to balance work, college, and life. But what begins as a story about help quickly turns into a question of responsibility. When family members start feeling taken for granted, emotions run high. The real question here is simple but powerful. At what point does helping become carrying the entire burden?
Be a mom and, you know, everything else that she wants to be. And so it's just gotten to a point where it's kind of ridiculous because I need some assistance and unfortunately, I'm not getting it.
Okay. All right. And do you pay health insurance for the child?
She is on Medicaid right now because we qualify for Medicaid.
All right. Okay, anything else you want?
Right away, we hear the grandmother explaining the situation calmly, but the underlying tension is obvious. She isn't attacking her daughter. She's explaining that the workload and financial responsibility have quietly shifted onto her shoulders. This is a common legal dilemma in family courts. When grandparents become the primary caregivers, should the biological parents still be financially responsible? And if so, how much responsibility is fair?
See if we can maybe find a resolution today.
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am.
So I am a full-time student, college student.
Okay.
So I'm spending most of my times, at night going to school. But on top of that, I also work for the university during the day.
What do you do?
I'm actually an intern, full-time intern for the psychology program.
Is that a paid position?
Yes, yes it is.
How much are you paid?
Well, I just got a promotion.
That's
to
good.
50,000.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like
Now the daughter speaks, and her argument is clear. She's juggling a lot. She's a full-time student, working during the day, and trying to build a future. On paper, that sounds admirable. But courts don't just look at effort, they look at responsibility. Being busy doesn't cancel out the legal duty of being a parent. And this is where the judge begins shifting the focus from excuses to accountability.
I work, all day. I go to school at nights. I don't come home.
Congratulations. We all work all day.
Yeah, I don't get home until like midnight, and I don't really see why it's a problem that my mother, the grandmother of my child, has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother, right? You always said you wanted a grandchild, didn't you?
I had one child. Yes, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you would have got married first and had someone to share the responsibility with.
I can't do it by myself though.
You're not doing it by yourself.
I'm trying to use that money.
Then comes a turning point. The daughter reveals she's earning around $50,000 a year. That changes everything legally. In child support calculations, income matters a lot. Once the judge hears that number, the conversation stops being about hardship and starts becoming about obligation. Because if someone has a stable income, the court expects them to contribute financially to the child's care.
Right, so that way I can pay for my tuition for college.
Well, I can appreciate that, honey, but you know what? Your main responsibility is being a mom.
I agree with your mom. This is your child, and you said something very key while you were talking. You said, you're her child. She raised you. It is not her responsibility to raise your child.
Right.
It is your responsibility.
I just feel like I don't really have to owe her anything.
This moment gets emotional fast. The daughter suggests she doesn't really owe her mother anything, and that statement hits hard. From a legal perspective, the judge isn't just hearing a family disagreement, she's hearing a parent who may not fully understand their financial responsibility. The law doesn't treat grandparents as default caregivers. If a parent's child is being raised by someone else, the court can step in and enforce support.
You don't feel like you should pay your mother? If your daughter were going to daycare, you would be paying the daycare, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they should be paid? Taking care of your child, looking after your child, changing diapers, feedings, they should be paid, right?
Right.
Your mother is doing everything I just named, correct?
Yes.
So it logically follows that she should be paid too, right?
The judge now uses a simple but powerful comparison: daycare. If the child were in daycare, the mother would absolutely have to pay. So why should it be different when the caregiver is her own mother? That's the logic the court often uses. Caregiving is still labor, even when it happens inside a family. And suddenly, the daughter's argument starts to look a lot weaker.
Yeah.
So what's your issue?
She uses her money for the school loans, and I can appreciate that she doesn't want to have school debt.
Right.
But
yeah,
now that she's
thing.
making more money, she's going to have to give me a little bit of that. They live with me. The house is paid. We don't have that bill. So I know she wants to be responsible and not have any debt, but mommy doesn't need to be having no debt and worried about diapers and all that too. And she does try to help, but it's just not enough. And now that she's got a promotion, I feel like she needs to take a little bit more responsibility. I've done everything I can, sweetie.
Daughter now tries to justify things by pointing to her education. She believes that going to school and building a future will eventually benefit everyone. And while that might be true long-term, the court deals with the present reality. A child needs care, diapers, food, and stability today, not years down the road. And that's exactly why the judge keeps bringing the focus back to the child.
You know that I'm a double major, right?
I know that, sweetheart. But like I said,
I can't afford
London
to
is
do that.
important too. So
I know she is, and that's why I leave her with you.
just like I did a good job with raising
I
you.
leave her with you, and you leave your child with your mother and do not believe that your mother should receive financial assistance.
I feel like I give something back by being in school. You know, once I do get that education,
What are you
that
giving
degree,
back by being in school?
I'm giving her.
What are your plans after school?
Well, I'm majoring also in psychology.
Listen closely here, because the judge highlights a critical detail. The mother isn't actually spending much time with her child due to work and school schedules. If she's coming home around midnight, the baby is already asleep, meaning the grandmother is effectively raising the child most of the day. In legal terms, that makes the grandmother the primary caregiver, even if the arrangement wasn't formally planned.
So I planned on opening my own clinic, doing a clinical psychologist, and then from there I could, you know, take care of my own daughter by then. I just right now need
And
some
move out?
assistance. Move out.
And your mom still takes care of the baby?
No, I could take care of the baby by then. I just need a little bit of help
You
and
can
assistance.
take care of the baby by yourself now.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that.
So I'm still not hearing what your issue is.
My issue is just...
Because she's your mom, you don't believe you need to pay her something.
This exchange reveals something deeper than finances. It shows how perspectives inside families can be completely different. The daughter believes she's contributing by working toward a better future, while the grandmother feels she's being left to handle the real-time responsibilities. Courts often step into these conflicts when expectations aren't clearly defined, and that's exactly what's happening here.
That's what I thought.
Because if you think about it, you really don't live there. You just going to sleep. Mom is taking care of the baby. You'd agree with me, right? If you're coming in at midnight, the baby is with your mom all day. You're literally coming to the house, not seeing the baby, because if it's at midnight, the baby is asleep, I'm assuming.
Right.
And you're going right back out to go to school and work. She's already tucked in, so you just pull the covers over a little higher.
I give her a kiss
Sometimes
goodnight.
she wakes her up, Judge, and just to play
You
with her.
wake up the baby at midnight?
Just so I can give her a kiss, you know, read.
Now the judge cuts through the debate and identifies the core issue. Because the caregiver is her mother, the daughter assumes payment isn't necessary. But the law doesn't operate on family guilt or favors. It operates on responsibility. If someone else is providing housing, food, childcare, and daily supervision for your child, the court can legally require financial support.
And if you think about it, technically you're not even living with her. You're only staying there at night for a couple of hours. And the baby is with your mom. Assuming this happens on the weekends too?
No, on the weekends she does stay home, and you know she does help. And like I said, she does like that. She's like not like that girl that goes clubbing and stuff. She does take that responsibility serious.
Yes.
It's just her job and school, and now she's going to work full time. Now she's going to be working more with the promotion.
Right.
So that kind of leaves us with a little extra money and no time, because we hardly had any time now. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now.
Here comes the ruling. The judge decides that until the daughter moves out and takes full custody of the child herself, she will have to pay child support to her own mother. That may sound unusual, but legally it makes sense. The person who provides the primary care for a child can receive support from the biological parent, even if that caregiver is a grandparent.
She's going full time.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start your child support so you can at least give mom some sort of assistance. Now, at the time that you move out of the house and you have the child on your own 100%, mom is not babysitting. Mom is not, well, not even babysitting. The child is living with your mom. The child is no longer living with your mom. Your daughter is with you 100% of the time. Then you can come back and see me to stop child support at that time.
Okay.
But until that happens, mom is going to receive some sort of financial break, essentially, until that time happens. So it's going to be based off your income, and you just said that you...
In the end, the numbers speak louder than the arguments. Based on her income, the daughter is ordered to pay about $800 a month in support, along with providing health insurance for the child. It's a tough lesson, but one the judge makes very clear.
Make $50,000 a year now. So at $50,000 a year, that brings your gross to $4,167. Your net is $3,516.78. There is a reimbursement to Medicaid. Now, you are working full time. You have access to health insurance now?
Yes, yeah.
Do you know how much it'll cost?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Okay, this is what we're going to do, because Medicaid reimbursement is about $375. That's based on 9% of your gross.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure your health insurance is cheaper than that for your daughter only. So what I'll do is order you to be responsible for that health insurance and give you a credit of $100 towards the health insurance, okay?
Okay.
So that'll make your monthly child support obligation $803, your mother.
Sorry, baby. You gotta learn.
Being a parent means more than intentions or future plans. It means taking responsibility right now. If this case surprised you, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't even know why I'm here. She wants an increase in child support, and I've been keeping our son for the past 3 years.
All right, so that's why you're here.
Alright guys, this one starts like a normal child support case, but it's about to flip in a way nobody in that courtroom expected. A father walks in confused, saying his son has lived with him for 3 years, yet somehow he's still paying child support. Meanwhile, the mother is here asking for even more money. Right away, something doesn't add up. And the moment Judge Vonda B begins asking simple questions, the entire story starts to unravel.
I guess.
Yeah. You've been keeping your son for the past 3 years. Are you paying child support or are you paying child support? Okay, so that's why you're here. You're trying to get off child support.
She wants an increase.
He live with you. Okay, I'll ask her to make sense of that for me. But for now, how old is your son?
10.
10 years old, lives with you. You take care of his expenses and everything like that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Health insurance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Notice how the judge immediately focuses on one critical fact, where the child actually lives. In family court, that single detail often determines who pays support and who receives it. If the child has been living with the father for 3 years, that changes everything legally. What starts as a routine request for more money suddenly turns into a deeper question. Why is the system still ordering the father to pay at all?
You mind if I move over to her really quick? Because I need to make sense of why she filed this in court asking for an increase.
Well, I mean, I do buy things for my son, and it's expensive. And
all right, so does other parents. They buy things for their children, and it is expensive.
Yes.
So why are you here?
Well, I have a business to run. I need his help in order to buy these things for our son.
Wait a minute. Your son lives with him.
Yes, now he does, yes.
Now, as in...
Now the mother tries to justify the request by saying she buys things for the child. And yes, raising a child is expensive for every parent. But here's the issue the judge is zeroing in on. Expenses alone don't determine child support. The court looks at custody, income, and who is actually providing daily care. So when the child lives with the father full-time, asking for more support starts to sound less like necessity and more like something else.
3 years ago? 3 years. That's not now. No, it's not. 3 years he's been living with him.
Yes.
So you want an increase in child support to do what exactly?
To help my son, to buy things for him.
Right. You work, right?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I have my own business. I'm a caterer.
Caterer. How much are you making in your catering business?
About 400.
400 what?
Thousand.
Waste my time.
I make $40,000 a year, Your Honor.
You came here to get an increase in child support, so...
This is where the judge begins testing the logic of the case. The mother says she runs a catering business and needs help paying for things for her son. But the judge immediately points out the contradiction. If the son lives with the father, then the father is the one covering most of those daily expenses. It's a subtle moment, but legally it's huge. Because once the court confirms that custody shifted years ago, the entire financial responsibility could flip.
Pay for your catering business.
No.
So why are you here?
Just for my son, of course.
Right, but maybe you're missing it. It's going like this,
Well, he
going
wants
over
to
your
stop
head.
paying. The child should stop paying. I think he
He
should pay more.
should stop paying if the child has been living with him for the past 3 years. Under your original court order, Mr. Eugene, give me a second. Under your original court order, you were the person that the child was living with.
Yes.
Not him.
Yes.
And here comes the turning point. The judge explains something many people misunderstand about family court. When a parent voluntarily lets the child live with the other parent long term, it can change who should receive child support. In other words, the person who once received payments may suddenly become the one who owes them. It's a moment that visibly shocks the mother, because the case she brought might actually work against her.
So that means you voluntarily relinquished conservatorship over to dad.
Yes.
Right. So dad should be the person receiving child support from you.
From me.
That's what I said. That doesn't sound right to you?
No, ma'am.
Why doesn't that sound right? Because you're the mom.
Yes. And I have to buy things for my son, and I can't do it alone.
He buys.
Well, I need to do that too.
You make $400,000 a year, ma'am.
Well, I have employees and things to pay.
Listen closely to how the mother responds. Instead of focusing on custody or financial responsibility, she keeps repeating one argument: I'm the mom. But family courts don't base decisions on titles, they base them on care, stability, and income. The judge is essentially reminding the courtroom that parenting roles are measured by actions, not labels. And the more this conversation continues, the more the legal imbalance becomes clear.
I don't think that he should stop paying the child support.
What do you think he should do?
Pay me more.
Pay you more?
Yes.
While your son lives with him?
Well, I still see my son.
Okay, yeah, but?
Month, maybe.
Oh, I see him more often than that.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe once a month.
I see him more often than that.
What's more often than that?
Well, once a week, maybe. I mean, when I have my business all day, and then I do extra catering in the evenings, and so I'm just really busy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not, then I do go visit with my son. Not once a month.
Once a month.
No.
Another revealing moment happens when the judge asks how often the mother actually sees the child. At first, the answers are vague: once a month, maybe once a week, whenever work allows. That hesitation matters. Judges pay close attention to these details because consistency shows involvement. When a parent appears uncertain about how often they see their own child, it raises serious questions about who is truly providing the day-to-day parenting.
How many other children do you have that are under the age of 18?
I don't have any other children.
Okay. Keep talking, I'm listening. I'm just taking down some notes.
I've said my piece. I wanted an increase in the child support.
Who pays much is it?
200.
Is that for your son only, or that includes you?
That's just my son.
Okay.
I think what this started from is she may be a little upset. I'm dating her sister.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably should have led with that, John.
You probably should have.
And then the case takes a dramatic personal turn. The father reveals he's dating the mother's sister. Suddenly, what looked like a financial dispute might also involve resentment and family tension. Judges see this kind of emotional crossover more often than people think, personal conflicts spilling into legal battles. The question now becomes, was this case really about child support or about unresolved feelings?
Yeah, I think it's some resentment going on.
You think?
Maybe. Could be, I guess.
There are plenty of women in the world. You didn't have to go for my sister.
I mean, that is kind of outside the scope of why we're here, but she does raise a good point.
I mean,
you see why she's upset.
I'm a music teacher. Like, she plays the clarinet really well.
So y'all been hitting notes together?
Yeah, exactly. You
know, okay.
How long have y'all been hitting notes together? That's the question.
That's not to be discussed today, okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You brought it up.
400,000. Okay.
You brought it up.
Well, I mean.
Well, nobody would be paying child support because we'd still be together if you weren't with my sister.
Okay, look. You know what it is, okay? You know what it is. And
I think everybody in here knows what it is.
That's all I'm saying. It didn't work out, Your Honor.
The courtroom atmosphere shifts completely here. Instead of discussing finances and custody, both sides start drifting into personal accusations and relationship drama. But the judge quickly reins things back in. Courts operate on facts and legal standards, not emotional grievances. Even if personal betrayal played a role in bringing this case forward, it doesn't change the fundamental legal question: who is actually responsible for supporting the child?
Yeah, Mr. Eugene, I understand why she a little sour though.
Some things just
her
happen.
sister?
Things just happen.
Y'all just didn't happen.
You wasn't there.
Mr. Eugene, Mr. Eugene.
Excuse
me, ma'am. Excuse me, Mr. I do understand her frustration. Mr. Eugene, y'all just did not, by coincidence, fall on those notes, okay? That's not what happened.
I mean.
That's not what happened. Music did not lead you two together. That is wrong.
It kind of did. It was kind of like fate. I teach music. She plays the clarinet.
Okay.
You wasn't there.
I was working.
Okay.
Trying to give us a nice life.
Okay. Why am I supporting the child for 3 years?
Because I had the child in the first place. You're the one that took him and then.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and make my ruling because I see this is a little deeper.
At this point, the judge has heard enough to see the bigger picture. The father has been raising the child for years, paying for health insurance and covering daily needs. Meanwhile, the mother earns significantly more money but still expects a father to continue paying support. Legally, that imbalance is hard to justify. And when the ruling finally comes, it's going to flip the entire case upside down.
Well, a lot deeper than just child support. And
it ain't deep, y'all.
No, it is deep.
Yeah.
It is definitely deep. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to stop Dad's child support, okay? His child support should stop. You voluntarily relinquish the child to him. So that means the rights that you had in terms of the child living with you primarily, you gave that up 3 years ago. So it's only fair that Dad stop paying child support. I'm going to deny your request for an increase, okay? Dad did make a request to put you on, so you will start paying child support today. With your income, you're capped, right? In Texas, we have a cap.
So I'm gonna be paying him money.
Yes.
While he's over there with my sister.
Pretty much, yes.
And our son.
Okay, Mr. Eugene. Mr. Eugene, that's not cute. Stop that. You do not have to take the knife and turn it. It's already bad enough, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, as I was saying, he made the request for you to pay child support. In Texas, you're capped at $9,200 for your net resources. So, your monthly child support obligation giving you credit.
Here it is, the ruling that completely changes everything. The judge stops the father's child support payments and orders the mother to start paying instead. Under Texas guidelines, child support is based on income percentages, and with her earnings, the calculation leads to a much higher monthly obligation. It's a dramatic reversal of roles. The person who walked into court asking for more money is now the one ordered to pay.
For the one, well, not credit, you have one child. So it's based on 20% of your income. That is going to bring your child support obligation to $1,840. Now, he also testified that he pays health insurance for your son. If you can get private health insurance, you do not have to reimburse him. But until you're going to be reimbursing him that $200, that brings your monthly obligation to $2,040 a month.
That's more than he was paying me.
He makes $40,000 a year, and as you can see, he likes music, okay? So
He likes people who play music.
Right, he likes all of that.
Just one.
So we're just going to move forward, and then that's what your child support amount is going to be to him, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any other questions? All right, do you have any other questions, sir?
No, thank you, Your Honor, for serving justice today.
You're very welcome. Although I must say, I can't believe you did that.
Smile like he's proud of it.
Not proud. She plays the clarinet with it really
Can we
well.
stop with the clarinet? I
All
don't care
right,
about the
well,
clarinet.
you know what? I don't want to hear any more music.
In the end, this case shows exactly how family court focuses on responsibility, not assumptions. The judge looked at where the child lived, who paid the expenses, and who had the higher income. And once those facts came together, the decision became clear. The father's payments ended, and the mother became the one responsible for support. But what do you think? Was this ruling fair? If this case surprised you, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.